as we've seen throughout the history of Texas football. Talent alone doesn't guarantee success. So here's a look at maybe why Texas could struggle this year. One is replacing key veterans and NFL talent. They've recruited at a very high level, but replacing experienced guys is never easy. Can the offensive line maintain its physical identity? Will the new starters emerge in key defensive leadership roles? And can younger players handle SEC-level pressure every week? The roster's talented, but experience often wins in those close games in November. Will they be able to develop that enough to be able to win those type of games? Then the second is, what Texas is finding out is the weekly SEC grind. The difficulty of the SEC is not any given week. It's the cumulative effect of what you're playing. They'll face several teams that are capable of beating them on any given Saturday. Georgia, Alabama, LSU, A&M, Tennessee. Even a championship caliber team can pick up 2 losses simply because of the quality of competition. So you don't have a really good day, you're not on the mark, you could be in trouble. Now, the positive is you can still have that and still make the playoffs in today's age. Then I think the third thing is living up to the hype. There's always that expectation. Texas always disappoints. So, look, they've got a lot of pressure to get it done. Expect to compete for an SEC championship, make the playoffs, win a national championship, make a strong run at least. So when every game is treated like a playoff game by opponents, maintaining consistency becomes really difficult. That's going to be key. Now, I do think there's some positive that Texas has. Obviously, a lot of positives, more positives than negatives. But we're talking about why maybe teams might struggle because it happens. We just don't know to who, when, and where it's going to happen. Arch Manning is got a chance to take the next step towards maybe being a difference maker for his team. He's got to make better decisions, but he's certainly improved in that area as when I study tape. It's just he's made a lot of them. Making mistakes is fine. It's learning from it. It's just all part of it. He's got really good mobility. He's got good arm talent, and he's got experience in high-pressure games. If he reaches his ceiling or close to it, Texas is going to be really good and tough to beat. I think Steve Sarkisian is one of the best play callers in football. He's also shown to be a really good head coach, and recruiting and developing the quarterback position, the offense, the entire team, really. I think they're very creative offensively in attacking defenses. I think their play sequencing is really, really good, and it keeps defense coordinators off balance. And look, they do a really good job with their recruiting and roster management. He's a really good coach that is just void of a national championship. But, boy, he knows how to get it done in terms of building a team and developing a team. I think it may be the most complete roster in the SEC. It's them or Georgia, but elite defensive line talent, NFL caliber skilled players, outstanding offensive line depth, high-end recruiting classes. Look, there are very few weaknesses. I think they are very close with Georgia. I think they're a slight edge because they've got a little bit more balance. Look, the schedule is difficult. I mean, could I see them finishing 9-3? Well, yeah, anything can happen. Absolutely. I go over that schedule I just mentioned. It's possible, but it's going to have some circumstances that create that. They're going to create a loss, maybe 2. But I think anything more than that is going to be a surprise. Look, this ceiling is 15-0 in national championship. Coaching, quarterback, depth, they've got it all to win. I think 12-1 SEC championship game appearance is probably the expectation, and I think they've got all the necessary ingredients to get that done. Want to have your thoughts? Appreciate you joining us. Check us out at LandryFootball.com as well. Hit that subscribe button. This podcast is free. Help us keep it free. And you can do that by just hitting the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you, and we appreciate you joining us as always. Talk to you again next time, everybody.